Now let's review important patterns from the reading. Look at line 7. Did you notice there's something strange about the sentence? Her light brown skin is smooth, her eyes still young and dynamic, when the book tries to describe Henrietta Lacks's looks. There is no conjunction. Bingo. This is a shortened version of the sentence. Her light brown skin is smooth, and her eyes are still young and dynamic. Another way to say it should be, her light brown skin is smooth, with her eyes being young and dynamic. But since with and being mean nothing, we just take them all. Let's review another example. As the pandemic surged, the mayor decided to suspend all the schools. We can make it shorter. Let's say the pandemic surging, the mayor decided to suspend all the schools. Number 2, look at line 9. Do you notice leave this word is used in the pattern that we just learned the other day? A lump would leave her 5 children motherless. That means the lump will make her 5 children end up having no mother. So this is the way to say it in a shortened way. A similar sentence will be, a typhoon will leave many people homeless. Let's look at line 17. There's an interesting word called when. This is not referring to time, but it's talking about replacing the words in the previous sentence. I first learned about HeLa cells in 1988 when I was 16. The when here refers to in the year. So, in the sentence, I first learned about HeLa cells in the biology class where the instructor mentioned her. Of course, the where refers to in the biology class. Number 4, the distribution. When we talk about the distribution of the HeLa cells, we using a very interesting sentence. They were bought, sold, packaged, and shipped to laboratories around the world. SHIPPED. Shipped is a verb describing transporting goods by using a truck, a plane, a ship, or any kind of means of transportation you like. It doesn't have to be using a ship. Number 5, there's no doing something. Means it is impossible to do something. This is an old pattern we are all familiar with. There is no knowing exactly how many of Henrietta Lacks cells are still alive today. That is, it is impossible to know how many Henrietta Lacks cells are still alive. So, a similar sentence, there is no telling how many children will die if guns are not banned. That means it's impossible to predict, to tell how many children will die if they don't pass a law to control the gun uses in the United States. Number 2, can you fill in the blank? There is no denying that Alice is the best English teacher. There is no argument. It is impossible to deny the fact, right? Number 6, measurements. Look carefully, it's not measures. Measures referring to actions. Taking action, taking measures. But here I'm talking about the weight, the length. So when we talk about the measurements of all the cells that has been sought, the book using some interesting expression. First one, do you notice the measuring verbs? Estimate, calculate. So scientists estimate, scientists calculate. Number 2, when it comes to weight, the way the scientists to measure the weight is by piling all the cells onto a scale, SCALE. Here the scale is a measuring equipment, not the on a larger scale that we are talking about. Number 3, length. The length, when it comes to the length, the way to measure the length is by laying, or we can say placing, all the cells end to end. Do you notice that end to end without any a, an, or the? to in front of the noun, because end to end is a phrase that talking about putting something from one end to the other end. There are two ends of a rope, right? A similar phrase expressions like bumper to bumper is talking about the traffic is heavy. So you can see the end of the car is connected to the other end of another car. So we'll say there are traffics bumper to bumper. Let's review lay. How do you put it in the past tense and the past participle? Lay, laid, laid. L-A-I-D, L-A-I-D. The last one, we're talking about the major way to measure the length. There is a special verb called spanned, S-P-A-N-N-E-D. But now I'm not going to focus on spanned. I want to talk about that word, which in fact referring to the total length, L-E-N-G-T-H, instead of any word in the previous sentence. Finally, let's give you some bonus idioms or expressions. First one, make both ends meet. Make both ends meet means that you can make enough money to support your own spending. Number two, Biden's trip to Asia is bookended by two shootings. That means at the very beginning and at the very end of the trip, there is a shooting incident. Bookends is an item to stop books from falling down on your desk. Number three, high-end products, referring to products that are more expensive and of better quality. In the end, I want to give you another bonus. We can learn about some words from news. For example, when Biden mentioned his feelings about the massacre on the campus, he using a different word for massacre. Do you want to learn the word? It's not slaughter, it is carnage. C-A-R-N-A-G-E. Very interesting word. Let's learn about other things tomorrow. See you.